Now look, you got to understand something. You and I live in the context of a battle, a war, where Satan wants to do anything and everything he can to go against the work and the expressions of God's purposes and plans. So what does he do? He tends to attack from the outside. He uses the world, the flesh, the devil, anything he can to pull apart the people of God. But sometimes, and you see it here, you see, there was an attempt to pull down the church, to separate, to diminish the power, and to divide the unity through outside persecution, and nothing happened. It was as though Satan, trying to pull the church down, only put a fan to the fire of God. And they grew stronger. Note that, because you're going to see before we're done that you and I need to be prepared to do battle. We need to be unified, one heart, one passion, one soul, one life-defining set of priorities. Not only on the good days, but in the tough days. Not only when we're celebrating on the mountaintop, but when we're trudging through the valley, taking shrapnel, and the bombs are going off, and there's blood and carnage around, we walk right through it with Jesus together. Paul, in his ministry, showed us how important this commitment to unity and oneness was. Listen to what he said as he urged the Romans. Romans chapter 16, verse 17 and 18. Keep your eye on those who cause dissensions and hindrances contrary to the teaching which you learned, and turn away from them. Anyone that would cause division. For such men are slaves, not of our Lord Christ, but of their own appetites. And by their smooth and flattering speech, they deceive the hearts of the unsuspecting. Same message in Galatians chapter 1, verse 6 and 7. Paul says, how quickly you are pulled away by those who tell you other things. The unity of God's people is absolutely critical. And I pray that you see it here. The church at its base is defined by their oneness, their supernatural unity, one heart, the biblical passions, one soul, the biblical priorities. Friends, there is room for all the creativity of God's master design. All of us are so different, so beautifully different in how God has created us. And there is room for all of God's creation, all of the people in his image. There's room for all of us in our diversity. What unifies us is our passion and our priorities and the power of God. You see, once in that diversity, you pull away from the truths of God and his word. You demonstrate that you are not really part of the unity. And I send you to 1 John, to anybody that would question that. It's not how you look, it's who and how you love that defines us. We see in the personification of the way of God, the people of God, a unified passion in their worship. And I ask you, do you have the biblical passions that define and unify the church?